led with 34. Paul George added 31 as the Clippers cut their deficit 2-1 in the second-round series against the Utah Jazz. And after the game, PG said, "This is what we do.
What we do.
We had to step up and take the challenge." 132-106 as they cut the deficit 2-1. I'm Kristen Ledlow. Welcome back into our NBA TV studios. He's 3D. Dennis Scott. Brennan Haywood is over there.
Oh, they throwing up gang signs?
No, you know what?
What? I didn't know what you was doing. I just looked up. I saw a lot of weird stuff going on with your hands.
Tell them it's the leave it gang sign.
That's right.
There you go.
I didn't know.
And it's just me and Dennis, and you're not in it.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about this game, though, because pregame, you guys both told me that the difference here, if the Clippers were to cut their deficit, would be whether or not Kawhi and PG were dominant, and they were.
They were, and B-Will, you and I were talking about in the back, and for you fans at home, it's hard to pinpoint what they went through with Dallas. You lose your first 2 games, you go on the road and win, and then in this series, the home team is taking care of business. And like Paul George answered that question perfectly. You can't pinpoint why this beginning of the game. They were 8-0. Ty Lue calls a quick timeout. They regroup, come out ready. Jack hits a 3. They get another stop, and then they start flowing. And B-Will, you've been there before. We as players, we can't pinpoint why it happens, but Ty Lue has learned how to push the right buttons to turn this team around like he did tonight.
Yeah, and it starts with what we're seeing right here from Paul George. You see Paul George getting it done. We knew he had to be aggressive. He had to step up. It couldn't just be Kawhi. It had to be Paul George, and it had to be Paul George early and often as you see him going down the lane right there. Once again, you see Paul George now standing behind the three-point line, but now getting in the line of vision. 3D, how important is that? Don't stand in one area. Get in the line of vision and knock it down. Shooters are going to shoot. Paul George came out aggressive from, oh, my goodness. Look at that step back right there. It took him to step back tech, dropped him off real smooth. But Paul George, the way he attacked the basket, had his shot going early on, that was what set the tone for this team offensively. And then defensively, let's give Tyronn Lue some credit for his game plan. He threw the kitchen sink at Donovan Mitchell. They double-teamed them off pick and rolls with certain players. Then when they did switch to pick and rolls, when he went to ISO, they doubled him. Donovan Mitchell still got his numbers, but, man, he had to work for him. That was a hard 30 tonight. That 40 the other day, or was it 42, whatever it was, it looked easy. This looked like Donovan Mitchell really had to work. Tyronn Lue had an excellent game plan.
Well, Reggie Jackson was also in double-figure scoring with 17, and he's at the podium now.
You just said in that timeout that got you guys back on track and really just started the dreams from raining down.
Really, we just got to be better. We came out here with a game plan, and we have our coaches they work tremendously hard to come up with a game plan and a scheme. So we got to go out here and execute. We got to go out here, lay it all on the line, and find out if it works. And early, we didn't come out. We felt like we got hit in the mouth rather than come out punching. So we wanted to make sure we responded. We wanted to make sure that we kept our foot on the gas. And we just played with a sense of urgency. So I think we did that after we came from the timeout, and we were fortunate enough to get some stops and then get rolling.
Thanks. Next, we'll go to Ramona.
Hey, Red, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing, Ramona?
Good. Hey, I'm just wondering, you obviously since you and Paul have been here, you guys go back a long way, and your relationship is for most of your whole career, right? When he's playing well, what is the key for him? And when you're playing well, are you guys feeding off each other is what I'm getting at?
Very much so. I mean, when he gets going, I definitely find some extra motivation. I think the whole team, we start riding his wave, we start riding his energy. So he started off hot for us, he started off well, and I liked his aggression tonight. More so just talking to him, I like the way he kept it simple. He made simple reads, whether it be shooting, whether it be attacking. And I think it just made the game easy for him. So once he got the flow going a little bit, getting some shots to go in, and his energy is electric, it's contagious. So once he gets going, we all kind of feed off of it, and it makes the game easier for us because I think we've all seen him throughout his years. We all know how he can explode and how he can get going. So it makes the game easier for everybody else once he starts feeling well. So we're happy that he can get it going and hopefully continue to be in this flow and really just keeping the game, whether it be not necessarily, you're not always going to shoot well, but just keeping simple plays and playing well and playing aggressive and just being himself. And then we'll feed off his energy.
Thanks, Red.
Thank you, Ron.
Next, Rebecca Harlow.
Hey, Reggie, before this game, you talked about taking the one-on-one challenge defensively, and when you look at Donovan Mitchell, you guys held him scoreless in that first quarter. I mean, he found some shots tonight, but it was a lot harder for those points to come by. What did you guys do differently tonight to make things so difficult for him? And just talk to me about how you guys really embraced that challenge of the one-on-one play.
Don is a great player. Honestly, he's one of the better players in this league, one of the best players, especially. I don't know if he's young and upcoming. He's already arrived, and he's, like I said, he's very talented, relentless. He's going to attack all night. He's going to make sure that he finds his shots and gives his team the best chance to be in the game and to try to win. So for us tonight, I like that we held his field goal attempts to 24. I think guys really came with the mindset to take on the one-on-one challenge that we talked about before, but honestly, we found another way to load up on him. Just try to load up, try to attack him, whether it be sending doubles at times, get the ball out of his hand. We wanted to limit the amount of times that he himself got to attack and just play one-on-one. So we're all ready to take that challenge on, but at the same time, we all got to be sitting behind each other and ready to help each other. We know it's not, in this league, it's not a one-on-one game. If it were so, probably wouldn't be as fun to watch, and there's a lot of great scores. We got guys who get paid a lot of money to score, so when you got somebody that talented out there, that's somebody that can fill it up like that, you got to make sure you limit his opportunities. So that's something that we tried to do today, and then make sure we're great in rotations out of it. Got hit over the head a few times when they were moving the ball, but then we could be better. But I feel like we did a great job, like I said, just limiting his usage rate. So that was something that we focused on.
Thanks. Time for one more. Go ahead, Law.
Reggie, I know the game is still fresh, but what do you think is the thing the team needs to do better on Monday than what they did tonight in Game 3?
I'm happy with the way we protected the ball for the most part. Only 9 turnovers. Good to be under 12 probably any time, especially in the playoffs. And ourselves, looking for the most part, we won the defense or won the rebounding battle. So we got a few mistakes, especially defensively, rotation-wise, miscues, just communicating, those type of things. A few breakdowns that we can shore up, and then still find a way to be better offensively with our spacing, with our pace, and just trusting the guys by you. So offensively and defensively, just learn to trust and just be locked in and stick to the game plan. So those are some things that we can shore up. They still had some open shots that they missed, but we felt like we mostly came out here and tried to make it difficult. Like I said, the film's going to tell us where we can get improved, but fresh in my mind, those are 2 things that we can really focus on.
The Clippers win at 132-106 behind 34 from Kawhi and 30. Paul George, these guys said that they were going to be the difference if, of course, they were dominant, and they were. We're going to talk all about it, but first, we've got to listen in to Coach Ty Lue.
The team was plus 21 in his 22 minutes, and it seemed like he really gave you an energy boost.
Yeah, just his energy. I think flying around, being able to guard multiple positions, rebounding the basketball, attacking, and just his energy, I thought was great. And fans love him. They love when he get on the floor, and he feeds off the crowd. So we needed that lift today, and he was great for us.
Thanks. Next to Tomer.
Hey, Ty, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
More than just the points, what was the difference in the way PG really attacked today throughout the game, really?
Just, being sure, just playing the game. Like he's been doing all season long, like he did in the first round. Attack when he has to, if not, take the three-point shot like we talked about. And, just being aggressive. Just having an offensive mindset to get up 20, 24 shots. That's what we need him and Kawhi to do. So I thought early, after that 8-0 run, I thought he really got it going. I thought he really, was decisive about, what he wanted to do. Making plays as far as attacking or shooting a three-point shot. So it was a great game for him tonight. So we just got to continue to keep building off that.
Just curious, you mentioned the shot attempt. Is that something you have to sort of just keep going on to him about shooting and putting shots up? Because he's a really good shooter when he does shoot.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, being aggressive, go out with your guns blazing, and he did it tonight. And we need that from him and Kawhi. Just taking the shots, being aggressive. We know Rudy's going to roam the paint and help along with Favors, but you also got to get to your spot and be able to score the basketball as well as create for other guys. And I thought Nick Batum stepped up and made shots tonight. Luke Kennard made a big one. Reggie Jackson was good again tonight. So it was a total team win.
Thanks, Ty.
Thanks. Next, we'll go to Melissa.
Hey, Ty, piggybacking off of that question, how much of a difference does it make for you guys when PG gets going so strong so early in the game?
Oh, well, we're a different team, and we know that. It's been like that all season long, and he's been great. He had one bad game or whatever, but people are going to have bad games. So the biggest thing is just, I think, defensively, just taking the challenge, with Donovan, with Ingles, with those guys closing out, but also stopping penetration. And PG did a great job with that tonight. So, you're not going to make shots every night. We understand that, but defensively is where we got to be locked in. And I thought we made some mistakes tonight, but overall, just the way we played hard, we played physical. And when you compete like that at a high level, you can cover for mistakes, and we did that.
Next to Miriam.
Congrats on the big win.
Thank you.
With Kawhi, do you know when he's going to go on a spree like he did in the third quarter and kind of do his takeover thing in the second half? Is that something you plan? Or
I know he thought he missed some easy shots early on in the first half, and we knew he was going to come out attacking that third quarter. We ran the first play for him to try to get him going, and he just kind of went from there. But we needed every bit of it. Like I said, it was a total team win. I thought guys that came off the bench was great. PG and Kawhi set the tone. PG early, Kawhi late. And that's what we need, from our two best players to be able to do that and set the table for everyone else, and they did.
Thanks. Next to Andrew.
Hey, Ty, after obviously the first couple games, seems like you guys threw a little bit of everything at Donovan, and he just had his way. How did you guys settle on sending that second defender his way? And what do you think of the rotations behind him when he did find open guys with the pass to cover up and keep those threes from getting down?
Well, I thought we made some mistakes when we did fire at him, but we're just trying to cover for one another. Not leaving a guy on the island. Let's try to make him play in the crowd, which we did. A couple of rotations we messed up on, but the biggest thing and the point of emphasis was just making sure we handled Donovan tonight. No easy baskets. He earned pretty much everything he got tonight. Having 0 points in the first quarter, but having 16 in the second. He made some tough shots. He made some shots in the paint where he double pumped, and so he's gonna make some of those shots. But I thought overall we did a fairly decent job on him of just trying to contain him, trying to fire on him, trying to blitz him a little bit, and just try to keep him off balance.
Next to Law.
There was a stretch in that third quarter. You guys went zone. It lasted for like 3 minutes. And call timeout, gets them out of it. How would you assess that period? When do you feel like that kind of worked as far as disrupting rhythm?
I really don't remember, but I got to take a look at it. But, just give them different things. Come out of timeout. We know Quinn's great out of timeouts. Of taking advantage of something. So we just came out in that possession, came out zone. I think we got to stop, but just keep mixing it up, man. Just try to keep them off balance as much as possible. And I thought we did a great job with that tonight.
Just a quick follow-up. They hit 19 threes still, and obviously, I'm sure overall you're pleased with the defensive performance. Is this going to be one of those series where, if last series was Luka's going to do a lot, we're just going to live with it? Is this a series where you kind of live with the fact that they're going to take a lot of threes, they might take a lot, just limit everything else?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to take a lot of threes. We understand that. So it's going to be long rebounds, and when they're missing, we can get out and transition. They're making some of the dribble. Like I said, Clarkson and Donovan, they're making some tough shots. But, just the three with Joe, I think to start the game, we had three mistakes, and, cost us 9 points, right away, right off the bat. So we just got to clean those things up. That's what we got to get better at. It's just cleaning up our mistakes, with the other guys. Because we know with Donovan, he's going to get loose. He's going to make some shots. He's going to make some tough shots. But like with Ingles, he's too good of a three-point shooter just to mess up a coverage and leave him wide open 3 times.
Thanks. Next to Barbad.
Hey, Coach. In a game like this, where there's so many positives, was there something you were most pleased with from Game 2 to Game 3 that you were happy to see tonight?
Just the way we competed. I think we competed at a high level. I thought our physicality was there. Thought we did a great job, rebounding the basketball. And just, taking the challenge, one-on-one. And, like I said, Dom's going to score. You take 24 shots, you're going to get 30 points. But I thought we really took the challenge. Everyone who guarded them, they tried and we competed. So the biggest thing for me is, like I said, just taking that challenge and competing for 48 minutes.
Next up, David.
Hey, Coach. Just speaking about Reggie's performance, not just tonight, but the way he's performed all playoffs. And I remember back during the season when he said you had told him, at the beginning of the year he was going to be out of the rotation. To now, where he's not only making big plays, big shots for you in the playoffs. Just how big has he been for you? Just not only playoffs, but just all season long. To have him, to be able to depend on him like that.
Oh, it's been huge. I think Reggie's done a great job of just being professional, being there when we needed him all season long, and when Pat Beverly missed those games, in a row, he really stepped in and became a starter for the rest of the season. And he puts the work in. Sometimes I think he's working too hard when guys should be tired. He shouldn't be really in the gym, but he's always putting that work in. And he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the big moment. He wants that. Like I said, tonight he wanted to guard Donovan Mitchell. Like, he loves those opportunities to be on the big stage, and he always performs. But he's been great for us throughout these playoffs. If we didn't have him in that first round against Dallas, I don't think we could have won it. So we need the production from him. A guy who can handle the basketball, can run pick and roll, can catch and shoot. I think he's number one in the league out of point guards who catch and shoots. So we need everything we get from Reggie, and he's been great for us.
Thanks. Time for one more. Go ahead, Ramona.
Hey, Ty, how are you?
Good.
Hey, we were talking a lot about Paul and Kawhi this game, and when you see them play like this, when they're this good in a game like this, kind of go, man, if they did that every game, the team could do anything, right? So what is the separation between when they do it in a game like this and then the games where Paul and Kawhi are not necessarily a factor at this level?
I just think being aggressive, just taking shots.
Yeah.
Like I said, Rudy's going to help, so we're going to make the right play and the right pass. But, with our two guys, we know that they're two of the best in the league. So we need it from them every night. And like I said yesterday, I don't go to Mastro's to order the ketchup. I go to order the steak. And tonight our guys on steak, and that's what we need. And because they've been doing it for us all season long. Just one game up in Utah, a game and a half. But they've been doing it for us all year. And that's what we need from those guys every night. And they understand that. And they did it for us tonight.
How much better is that than last year? Like, I know last year there was a lot of sort of learning how to play together. Do you feel like they have that now?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they have the trust. They understand each other. They know how to play off each other now. And we try to stagger them a little bit as well so they can both have
has dropped Game 3 but lead this series 2-1. Here's Quinn Snyder.
What was said and what do you know about Donovan so far?
He's in good shape. He could have gone back in the game, but at that point, the lead had stretched. In fact, while we were talking, I think Kawhi hit a three, and that was my decision just to
boost it,
to not put him back in at that point. The game had gotten away from us at that point, but he's fine.
Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
They're up 2-1, but let's see how they got those first 2 games here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, that's right. What an
Olivia, somebody's unmuted on there.
Sorry about that. Hey, Quinn, can you just, obviously the Clippers had a great shooting night tonight. What do you guys need to do different defensively going forward?
Well, I think that's who they are, and give credit. I've said it, the last 2 games as well. Kawhi and PG, they're capable of really making plays, and they made plays for other people. Obviously, Batum had a really big night. I thought, there's going to be times where it's tough to stop them from making shots. It's some of the breakdowns and the cleaner looks that they get, and particularly tonight, I thought in transition, when we attack the basket, there's got to be urgency to recognize that situation and really get back, and show a crowd where they don't have clear lanes to the basket. So I thought, in spite of that, I don't remember the exact sequence, but I thought we hung in, and up until early in the fourth quarter, we had some empty possessions that really hurt us. But the game hadn't gotten away from us at that point. We were competing. Obviously, we weren't playing as well as we wanted to, particularly on the defensive end, and that catches up to you. So, but they played well, and they beat us. So, got to regroup and learn from it. No different than when you win a game. You want to use it and try to get better. And they were obviously really ready to play. I thought we came out of the gate, focused and ready, and we just didn't do some of the things we needed to do from an execution standpoint. That I was kind of referring to before the game too. That we need to do against the team, of this quality.
Tony Jones, The Athletic.
Coach, do you feel like you guys played with enough force offensively, particularly against, some of the things they did against you guys defensively in terms of, trapping Donovan early and some of the physicality that they showed defensively?
Well, to be honest, I think if you look at the possessions where they were doubling Donovan, we really got good looks. I thought he did a great job of getting off the ball when we needed to. And in some respects, that's when we were spaced, the best. When a team really picks up and gets into you, you have to attack them. And when you do that, you're usually going to have to get off the ball quickly and make quick decisions, whether that's, I mentioned it before, whether, you shoot it when you're open and, or pass it or drive it. And I thought, one, those decisions need to be better. And then also when we did have quick reads, we had passes that weren't, quite good enough to be able to shoot, and the possession slows down and, it puts a lot of pressure on Donovan to create. So, but I thought we played with more force as the game went on. We really just needed to open up the floor and try to space and attack. But as much as anything, when you don't get stops at crucial times, it doesn't give us an opportunity to get out and get the kind of looks you want. And like I said, I thought we had some dead possessions offensively where we got up against the shot clock, and some of that, we'll see it, and I think there are things that we can do better. I think our guys know that.
Last question, follow-up from Sarah Todd.
But apologize for this. We were having some audio issues early on. You just tell us what the situation is with Donovan one more time?
Yeah, he's fine. He could have gone back in the game. We were kind of borderline there, depending on where the game was. I just felt like it had gotten to about, I think, an 18-point lead with 4 or 5 minutes to play, and it didn't make sense at that point. To put him back in. And in fact, we took our other guys out shortly thereafter as well.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Coach.
Joe Ingles added 19 as the Jazz still hold the 2-1 lead.
The biggest difference was he made some shots. I think he's had looks in other games, I think, and missed a couple. Obviously, them as a team made a lot more shots tonight than the games. I think part of that is on us being more physical and disrupting a little bit more, which we did in the first couple games. They came out obviously physical at the start of the game and trying to play that kind of way throughout. So obviously a few things we can look at on the film and figure out and see where they got some. We had a few rotations and things on defense that we messed up, which we weren't in the first two games. Sorry. So we'll go again, look at the film and figure out what we did and some of the mistakes, and same on the offensive end, what they did defensively. They mixed up a few different things which we hadn't seen in the series, and again it's a series of adjustments, and we'll go make some, and I'm sure they will, and we'll come back in a couple of days.
Next up, Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune.
So you referenced them mixing some things up defensively. You guys wound up with a negative assisted turnover ratio tonight. Can you kind of just take us through what some of those things were that they were doing that gave you guys so many issues?
They turned it up with the physicalness and aggressiveness, I think. The one that kind of stands out is that the first possession of the game, Batum was picking me up, and I think we still scored off it, but it showed what they wanted to do for the night and how they wanted to play. I think the biggest difference, obviously, they played a lot more small. They didn't really play the fives as much, and then the double teams with Donovan, the blitzing and the kind of a soft blitz when he got off the court over the half just to get it out his hands. Donovan made some great reads off it. We missed some shots. But just those things, we hadn't seen them do that. We were still prepared for it, but we obviously didn't execute it. It's kind of I think I said it last game or the game before, or shoot around or something, where we usually get better at things as the game got on, and we didn't tonight. So yeah, we'll go watch it. Again, it's a long series. We'll go and watch it and figure it out and come back and be better on the next one.
Neil Larson, Salt Lake Tribune.
Joe, defensively, 132 points, and there's only 93 possessions. Usually you guys are a lot better in kind of a half-court setup.
Yeah.
Is it their spacing? Is it just their ability to shoot from all these different positions? What is it that makes them so difficult defensively?
Yeah, I think they, I don't know, I could be wrong, and you can tweet I'm wrong if I am, but they felt like they made a lot more shots tonight in general, whether that be on the rim or threes. Reggie Jackson started the game 3 for 3, 4 for 4, whatever he was. Obviously PG and Kawhi kind of got theirs. So I think it's, again, for us to, I don't think we played soccer. They were aggressive. And we needed to do that on the other end as well, which we had been doing. I don't know if they made shots and we kind of, not that we were, not that you back up when they make shots, but they were making shots and we just weren't the same. We weren't aggressive. We weren't kind of dictating to them what we wanted to do defensively. They kind of got downhill a bit more, got in the paint. I think coach at halftime said they had 6 or 7 offensive rebounds, which we'd been pretty good at. So they made a couple threes off. So yeah, obviously it starts kind of with them making shots, but that's on us as well. We can get our better closeouts. Not like I said, we messed up some rotations and some overhelp or whatever it was on some of them. So we'll go and look at the tape. We'll make some adjustments and we'll come back. So.
Kawhi Leonard added 34 in the win. He's addressing the media now.
I mean, I think we're just playing the flow of the game pretty much, trying to do everything. If it's defense, rebounding the basketball, talking on the floor, shots gonna go in or not. Our job is to keep being aggressive for ourselves and others. If Paul has it going, we're gonna go to him. If I got it going, it's gonna come to me. But if anybody else on the team has it going, we're gonna try to get them the next shot as well. Reggie played great tonight. Nico also did, and everybody on the bench coming in with energy. Luke making shots, T-Man playing defense, Pat energy. So, we just not really a selfish team. Like I said before, we just want to make the right plays on the floor.
Thanks. We'll go next to Law.
Well, you mentioned after game 2 that you're just trying to take what defense is giving you. You just told Andrew a version of that. What was the defense? What was the difference between what you saw in the first half and what you saw in the second half beyond just making shots?
That's all it is. It's either gonna go in or not. My job is to stay aggressive. There's no magic to it.
Thanks. Next, we'll go to Farbach.
I know you listed a lot of the positives in today's game, but I just want to know if there was one thing you were most impressed with in the transition from game 2 to game 3.
Just our effort. Being more physical, boxing out, getting the rebounds, being more detailed to the game plan. And the biggest thing is that we made shots tonight. We was getting open looks, I believe, in game 2, and we weren't knocking them down, and tonight we knocked them down.
Next, Mark Medina.
Hey, Kawhi, now that you guys have had a second season together and more time to play together, how do you think that the chemistry with you and PG has evolved and improved over time?
I mean, it's still evolving. We came in with Doc Rivers last year, and then now we're playing with T. Luke. So, your chemistry is still growing. Like I said before in past interviews, Doc and T. Luke are two different coaches. So coming from one, set of plays, going to a new set of plays, you always have to, rebuild a chemistry from there. But like I said, we're just both out there just trying to win a basketball game, and if one of us has it going, one of our teammates, we're going to look for him.
Thanks. Next to Tomer.
Hey, Kawhi, congrats on the win. We're trying to have looked at it in the games you guys have lost. They've been relatively close losses, especially down the stretch. But in some of the wins, you guys have sometimes blown them out. Sometimes won by 10, 15 points. I'm curious, does that tell you anything about this team, that even in the losses, when you guys might not be playing well, it's still a close game? Does that really tell you anything?
I mean, you always go back and see what you did wrong with these wins, and if it's a close loss. Like I said, felt like game 2. We had some open looks down the stretch, and we just missed them. That's just the way basketball goes. We all wish we could control the shooting. All of us would be shooting 90% out there, 100%. So, like I said before, it's about playing the right way, knowing if we having defensive breakdowns, and seeing are we executing on offensive end. That's the only thing you can look at. If we're setting screens, are we running hard to our spots, and if you make shots or not, you got to live with it.
Thanks. Time for one more. Go ahead, Ramona.
Thanks. Hey, Kawhi, Ty's been talking to us a little bit about you and Paul having to play make a little bit more, especially when you get into the paint and creating for others, playing in that role. Paul especially has been sort of a point guard for you this year. Have you seen that? I know when he puts you in that role, is that different for you? Is it a different approach than you've had in other positions or other years that you've been out there, or is it just an escalation of what was starting last year?
I mean, it's definitely growth for me, especially coming into it last year. Just really not having that true PG. But it's a challenge. Like I always say, it makes the game more exciting. It's something different that I haven't, been through. But just areas where I could grow at, as a player. So take the challenge and just have fun with it and just play the game.
Have you done some work with Chauncey at all in that? I know I guess Chauncey's been working with Paul a lot in that role.
I talk to everybody pretty much on the staff. Just to see what we're doing wrong or ways I can get better or make the team better. But I talk to Chauncey, here and there, just ask him nitpicking of what he used to see and just what he's seeing now out there, just being a coach now. So we have our little talks here and there.
Oh, thanks, Kawhi.
Thanks, Kawhi. Have a good night. And
Well, he only needed 13 to tie Patrick Ewing, but, well, he had 34. So Kawhi Leonard has moved up the all-time playoff scoring list. Look at some of the names that he passed just tonight.
Some big-time names. And the reason I'm impressed with this, B. Wood, he coming to our league known as a defensive stopper. Now he gets buckets, too.
I would have never thought he would be on this list when he first came in the league. When he was just standing in the corner trying to play defense for the Spurs, to watch the evolution of his game is what's been truly special.
Our post-game coverage will wrap up after the break. Stay with us right here on NBA.